some good news. It is estimated to have rebounded sharply in FY 2026, growing 7.4% compared to 6.5% in the previous fiscal year. This is according to the data that has been released by the government. The pickup marks a return to stronger momentum after a year of moderation and comes just days ahead of major methodological reset in the national accounts, which is basically the presentation of budget by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. My colleague Hina takes us through the highlights and significance of this data. It's over to you, Hina.
Well, it's an interesting number that we've got today. Basically, this is the first advance estimate that government has released for the full year as far as GDP is concerned. So for the current financial year, the government is expecting the growth to be around 7.4%, which is definitely higher than expectations. And this is all thanks to a very strong Q2 GDP number that we got, Priya, you would recall, at 8.2%. That came in as a huge surprise. And, you know, the first quarter and the second quarter is really blending this kind of momentum that we are going to witness in the economy. And that's why the overall number is looking good. This is better than what we saw last year. Last year's GDP growth for the full year was 6.5%. So it's going to be a significant higher number that we are expected to see this year. Now, why this data becomes important is because it has come just before budget presentation. It also helps the government figure out, where to really spend the money, which sectors really need attention. And that's why these advance estimates become extremely important. And also this is a response to those who continue to still doubt the potential of Indian economy, who continue to say that Indian economy is dead. Trump said it last year. Many in the country continue to repeat the same narrative again and again. But here the numbers speaking for themselves, 7.4% growth at a time when geopolitical situations are quite uncertain, is something that many experts say is quite remarkable.
It is quite remarkable. It will also be a jolt, however, Hina, for the opposition who would already be getting ready to prepare their scripts after the budget. People who say that the Indian economy is a dead economy and would like to perpetuate that propaganda.
Well, absolutely. And that is why I said that, it is a response to all of those who continue to doubt the potential of the Indian economy. Because there are geopolitical issues that continue to impact supply chain, etc. And they have an impact on the sectors across India and in other parts of the world as well. Now, despite these uncertainties, if we are able to see a growth of about 7.4% this year, then, definitely something somewhere is going right. But of course, we'll have to wait and see how the opposition now responds. The numbers clearly are looking slightly better than expected.
Right, and when you talk of uncertainties, there have been one too many. There has been the tariff tirade coming in from the US. There has been geopolitical instability. We have multiple wars. And how do you see this going ahead, Hina, especially now that we have latest flashpoint in what the US is doing in Venezuela and how the oil prices will be fluctuating?
Well, as far as the crisis, is concerned in Venezuela, we've been speaking to a lot of experts. They say that's not really going to have any kind of impact on the oil prices. That big development of, US President Donald Trump taking over Venezuela and, of course, eyeing its oil reserves hasn't really impacted the oil prices that much. So that's like fine for the moment. But another big sword hanging around our neck has been the trade deal between India and the United States of America. We were hoping to see some good news by November last year. That did not happen. We are still paying 50% tariffs, which is a quite high number. So, the negotiations are still going on. The kind of statements that Donald Trump has been releasing on a daily basis clearly seem to suggest that, perhaps the trade deal might take some more time. So that is a big uncertainty that concerns our exporters. It's impacting our trade deficits as well. And this is definitely going to be a cause of concern for the government going forward.
However, so far, as you have aptly described, India and Indian economy have been resilient to most of these pressures. We'll keep tracking developments. Thank you, Hina, for joining us. We shift our focus to an